Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Criticless Cast Unhinged, the podcast that is just so extraordinarily professional that we start on time. We never have any issues. We have perfect audio. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on for how professional this show is. And on this very professional show today, we are going to be talking about a Minecraft movie, not the Minecraft movie, but a Minecraft movie, which is an interesting thing all in itself. And we will be talking about in just a short bit, but we're going to do the usual things that we do where we're going to be doing our other segments, talking about some news, some streaming things, educating some boomers, all sorts of fun before we actually get to this Minecraft movie review so that some of y'all can come in and have a little bit of time. But before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, Mr. Matthew Verlack.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for joining us tonight.
And
fun talk.
Yeah, for fun talk. And if you did not know, I am Blaine Andrews, the host of Criticless Cast and the CEO of Criticless.com. If you are not already a user of Criticless, make sure to do that. You can find us in the Android and Apple app stores or just on the web. We're an entertainment reviewing platform. But if you're wondering, or noticing, there is a third party missing, Mr. Christopher Kaus. He came down with the Grumblies and the Tumblies or something.
I don't want to watch the Minecraft movies.
Well, the funny thing is, I don't even think from what I gathered last week, he didn't know anything about this movie, what it was, who was in it, nothing. So unless he saw the trailer since then and maybe changed his mind, but
no, he always goes in blind.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he had no idea, except that it was probably about the game Minecraft.
Right. My guess is, if anything, it was probably that he got a call from his mail order bride that he needed to get home and do some of the honeydew list. If I were to make a guess.
That makes sense. Totally what it is. Because we all know he's definitely got those brides at home.
yeah.
All the brides.
How many mail order brides did he pick up when he disappeared for like a month? But yeah, so Matt, I guess the question is, do we have our crap together enough to do our segment where we talk
about culture for boomers?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And do I have it shared?
Not yet, but you will.
Yeah.
All right.
We good? Yeah. Sweet. All right. So I think I have it pulled up, Matt. Do we have it on the screen here? We're still getting used to all these technical things. No, see, so it's already it's showing me as a nothing. So like I said, we are, if anything, extraordinarily professional. We have our crap together. There we go. I think we're actually showing it now. Yep. So we're gonna.
What happened? It was there and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Freaking technology. That was why we started late. Was actually because essentially. The audio.
Yeah, kind of have to have an audio to have. Well, wait, before we have a new member.
Oh, we do.
X-Wing.
What? We got X-Wing in here and a member?
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Man, I'm happy to see you in here, bud. Welcome to seeing how professional this entire outfit is, and us starting 10 minutes late and everything else. But I guess, you know, as we both know, Bro Science is also the most professional show, and we're not even going to talk about Monday Hangover. So yeah, but so what I wanted to talk about with this segment here is I had this come through on my feed, and I'm guessing it's fairly specialized. Now, granted, it had 1.8 million views, but this is about Cookout. Okay.
This is my impression of trying to order food at the Cookout, but the speaker is incomprehensible. Thank you. This is my impression of...
No.
Oh yeah.
So now this isn't only exclusive to Cookout, but I would argue that it's pretty Cookout specific to say.
Yeah, I remember when I was in college up in Boone, I would just forego going through line, and I would just always park and get out. It didn't help we were a group of college kids, but it was just like every single time it'd be like, hey, we're trying to make 4 orders. And that's what you get like, oh, it's all going to cook out. I'll get you. We're like, man, we have no idea if our order is right or wrong or what's going on.
That is the perfect like example right there. I freaking love it.
Trying to order food at the cookout, but the speaker's incomprehensible. Thank you.
The thing is, like, everybody that's not like in the South is gonna be like, what are they talking about?
Right.
Let's cook out.
Right. Which is why it leads me to the rest of this segment here, actually. So what I really wanted to get to is the meat and potatoes of all of this. It is the debate here of cookout versus In-N-Out.
Okay.
Because if you're from West Coast, and I bet if X-Wing's still in here, he is probably pretty familiar with In-N-Out. I think they have it in his area, but maybe he's not quite as far on that coast. But over here we have Cookout. It's actually started in North Carolina and it's worked its way up and down the coast.
Yeah.
But it is, to say the least, the far superior burger chain for many reasons. Which is why I was actually going to pull up this.
Trying y'all's orders today at Cookout. We asked y'all what's y'all's Cookout orders. We got a lot of replies. So what we did was just comprise a bunch of orders together, the most popular ones. They're reoccurring.
Let's do it. You yapping.
Chicken tender tray, extra Cajun fries, hush puppies, and a walk-in taco.
Double burger tray with the quesadilla, hush puppies, and a hot dog on the side. Bacon, mayo, ketchup, lettuce, grilled.
Now hold on, a walk-in taco.
Walk-in taco. That is a relatively new addition to the cookout menu.
It is, and an impressive one. I don't know if you've noticed, you can actually get walking tacos in gas stations, like the local QT.
Really?
You can get them, but you get a bag of Doritos, and then you can just add the tomatoes, the lettuce, the chili, the cheese, like right there. But so
I haven't noticed that, but it makes sense.
So they're going through like a goat order here at Cookout, because Cookout is a little bit different. They have some very interesting sides, like the walking taco.
Grilled onions and pickles. Y'all be sleeping on them grilled onions.
Honey mustard from the bite. This has to be the crispiest chicken tender I've ever had in my life.
Yo, I'm sorry to always come back to this, but it's sad that this Cookout burger has more seasoning than Culver's.
God.
I like this style of burger, y'all. It's like a little Whopper Jr.
Sour cream, chili, cheese, Doritos. Look at all that.
The most commented thing, the hush puppies. I got that barbecue from the back. Y'all ain't know about it.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Did you know about that? That you could just get like a cup of barbecue sauce?
I didn't, but it also makes sense. I don't go there for barbecue. Xena goes there for barbecue.
Dude, their barbecue sandwiches are dope. Like, I don't know why they're so good.
That's Xena's order is I want the barbecue tray with probably corn dog and something else. Normally the chili, because where they messed up with their order. They got Cajun fries, but they didn't get Cajun cheese fries.
Right.
And that's where they messed up with this order.
Okay, so I had my roommate in college who almost married my sister.
Yeah.
He actually used to get what was called a cup of cheddar, which is their melted cheese. He'd get a whole cup of it, and he had me get it, and it is good, but you will shit your pants. Guaranteed absolute pants shitting, especially if it's paired with a milkshake. Maybe that's my lactose intolerance, but you will like shit your drawers. So... Not saying it's not good.
Oh, yeah.
When I first see this chili, it makes me scared that it's going to send me to the bathroom. But once you taste it, I think it's all worth it. I'm going to do it. A little honey mustard. 10 out of 10.
Chicken quesadilla.
Cheese bites.
Those cheese bites that they got a couple of years ago are absolutely goated too. They're off the freaking hook. And do you ever get them? The white?
I have not.
It's kind of like Culver's or like Freddy's.
It's just
like
cheese curds, like fried cheese curds. I mean, it makes sense.
And a quesadilla for a freaking side.
Let's dip it in some ranch from the back.
Because
to say it.
That's what people don't like. We talk cookout up.
Right.
But the thing is that you don't understand if you've never gone is that you're not just getting a burger and fries. You're getting a burger and like corn dogs and fries, or a burger, a quesadilla, and a chicken wrap. Like you're not going in there, and it's so cheap. It's like $7.50, $8 for all this food. You're coming out with like 3 sides.
Yeah, all these.
Like,
you can get a double burger or this. And actually, the one she got with the single hot dog, which has lettuce and bacon and stuff that she hadn't even gotten to yet, that's even cheaper than if you got a cheeseburger.
These are better than Culver's. Cheese! Polynesian. Extra Cajun fries next.
A lot of y'all recommended hot dogs, but I just got it made my way. I got chili, cheese, bacon, and jalapenos.
Girl.
The fries are god tier. The fries are god tier. I don't.
Mhm.
I'm saying.
Weenie itself tastes like it's been cooked on the grill. It's got a little char to it. The chili's a little
They do
bit
grill 'em
spicy.
too.
What I'm not liking is this Dollar Tree bun. Oreo and M&M shake, add fudge topping.
Banana pudding cheesecake.
Mm.
Ice cream almost tastes like pudding to me. I don't know, just that texture. This is my first time adding cheesecake.
Is
I
it
think
more
it still
sweeter?
tastes like a regular Nana pudding shake.
Mine's just an upgraded creamy Oreo McFlurry from Mickey D's.
In this video with a crunch appreciation. Bless them. Bless you. Trying y'all.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's some North Carolina / East Coast stuff for you right there.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's like I know you've seen it before, but where like there's several videos where British people come and try cookout.
right. Yeah.
And those are fantastic.
Oh, dude, the
because,
British
I mean,
people love the shit out of some
they were just
cookout.
like, this is
Right.
the best food.
Right. And so
Ever.
now I pulled it up here, but I know we've talked about it before, but I can't remember. Have you ever had In-N-Out?
No. Because every time I go like out west or something like that, we're like talk about it, and then there's long lines, and then I've
Right.
heard mixed takes from
Right.
like people outside of California.
Right. Like Chris is a
'Cause-
big like anti In-N-Out guy. I had it last year when I went to Vegas. I was hanging out with the Salty Nerd guys. It was like midnight and they were like, we're going to Cookout. Or not Cookout, but we're going to In-N-Out. We're going to blow your freaking mind. We're going to get you animal style, all this weird shit. And I'm here to say it's overrated. All right. I am, especially after Cookout. But
In-N-Out secret menu, 4x4 animal style with chopped chilies. Oh yeah,
Thing is, that probably is like a $50 burger.
mhm.
so beefy and cheesy. I also got the Flying Dutchman, 2 patties with cheese.
I'm pretty sure that is a sex position.
I mean, I think all their stuff's sex
Right.
position.
They're like, hey, I'm about to eat a Stanley steamer. This is where they take a shit on my cheeseburger.
And fry it.
A little dry. Grilled onion Flying Dutchman. The onions are the buns.
I mean,
Don't get this if you don't love onions. I also got the tomato Flying Dutchman.
no.
Very juicy. Protein style lettuce wrapped. This
I
one
could-
is
I could get behind
sloppy. I like it sloppy.
I bet you do.
Mm-hmm.
The crunch on that. Animal style
Yeah, 'cause
fries.
it's lettuce.
Oh, that-
It's this this is the most supreme lettuce that anyone has ever lettuced. It's just-
Okay. This guy's just high. That's
Yeah.
all
This
it
is one of my
is.
favorite things on Earth, and that's including people.
what the? Hold on.
Mm.
This guy has a mental disorder.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna pick up that many French fries and eat them all at once?
He ate all of the toppings.
Yeah. Now he's
Look at those fries. There's just.
It's
Hey,
just
this looks like shoestring fries, which I don't like.
yeah.
They are just a
Their
miss
fries
for me
are-
almost every time I have shoestrings.
Painfully mid, unseasoned. Which, and I don't know if X-Wing has commented on it. All right, he says, "Flying Dutchman." Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I thought it was definitely overrated, but we'll let him keep going.
In-N-Out pink lemonade. Gas.
They were hyping that up to me too. It's freaking pink lemonade.
Flying Dutchman animal fries.
Maybe they don't have pink lemonade out there.
Maybe.
I love In-N-Out. In-N-Out secret menu.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, and that was one of the better videos I found for In-N-Out, but it's pretty standard like fast food stuff. But
Yeah.
I think it's a must. If you come over to East Coast, you see a cookout, you gotta go.
Especially if it's late at night and
Yeah.
you're like drunk. Like it is the best. Like Waffle House is god tier drunk food.
Right,
But
right.
so is this.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
it just is amazing because you just don't know what you want. You show up and you just get all this good food and it's cheap.
Right.
And then you throw a milkshake on there.
Right.
Or you get the biggest sweet tea you can get, like for no charge. It's the same charge as like a regular size Coke or anything.
Right. Yeah, they call it a huge tea. Huge.
Yeah,
huge. It's like this massive tea, which I did actually, and this is some inside baseball. None of y'all knew that this happened to me, but we actually left here I left here several weeks ago, and we had a few beverages, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go fill up my old tum-tum, gonna go get some food. Went to the cookout. I was sitting there, got a corn dog. That's one of the things you can get as a side is a freaking corn dog. You can get 2 corn dogs, doesn't matter. And so I was just like chomping on a freaking corn dog, and this dude just comes up beside me, runs me into a guardrail, crashes my damn car into a guardrail. So
Yep.
I was like messaging these guys like, man, some shit just went down. Fucking corn dog fell on the floor. I lost my corn dog.
Not the corn dog.
It's nothing worse than that. My wife loves their freaking corn dogs. Like they are her favorite thing. But yeah, they're
Oh yeah, my toddler eats them up.
they're freaking great.
He just loves them
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah.
So, this is definitely what we're doing for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah, now that we're already fully down the
Yeah.
all right, so this is the other thing I was going to show. Now,
All right.
this video, if you see, it has 7 million views. And let's see if you can spot what's happening in this video here.
Tell them what you just told me.
Now, just one more time for the folks in the back here.
Yes.
Tell them what you just told me.
When that dude was born, he got a birth certificate. She looks totally fine for somebody who clearly receives severe liver damage 3 times a week. It's not even the main focus, but it's literally like a third person is in the video and you can't avert your gaze. How does he find pants with 3 leg holes? I'm sorry, don't ask me the color of anything. I was distracted. That thing is going to be the whole problem. For her.
I can tell you something was gray. I can tell you that.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
was
something was gray. Yeah.
I literally didn't even see her.
Cervix. That thing has a personality and a phone number, and it pays taxes. I don't know what she's feeding that, but Lord, he's got to be a shower. I mean,
He's
come
packing
on.
a double corn dog, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
This guy's not wrong about being a shower. You working with something like that, you're gonna black out if you get too excited. It's just all the blood is gone, straight down there.
It's a
If
knockout.
it got any bigger, he'd pass out due to blood loss.
No, see there.
Tell them what you just told me.
It's just, that is.
I mean, look at that thing. Jesus Christ. And like the girth, like it looks girthy. That thing looks like it's a soda can.
Yeah, that's
in his pants. Limp.
Jesus. So the question is, it had 7 million views, 389,000 likes.
Was that so? Wait, his reaction video.
Yes, his reaction video.
Okay.
I don't even know about the original.
Yeah, because like his reaction's crazy. Like I can see this video not having a lot, except he saw it, made this reaction video, and it blows up.
Right. But I mean, yeah, I literally, it's just that is just as my wife would say, too much for the kingdom. That is. And if anybody hasn't noticed yet, my wife absolutely hates the TikToks that I pick.
I mean, they're amazing.
Hey, Troy, what's going on, buddy? You just stopped in time for this.
Tell them what you just told me.
So you're welcome. There you go. For those that said they had to pause. So yeah, there's something to stew on, just how that even works or happens or
just the logistics of the whole thing.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
There's a lot happening there. So yeah, if you guys were wondering what's happening in culture, it's giant hogs and currently, at least in my world, cookout talk as well. So yeah, but yeah, let us know as far as the vote here. If you've had both, where you land. Are you a cookout or a In-N-Out person? Yeah, but so far everyone I know that has had cookout and goes over there is like,
I wonder how the Midwest Whataburger lies in this comparison. I haven't had it. Obviously, we have our own Whataburger here.
Right.
Very different from what I've been told. We're getting a Midwestern Whataburger somewhere around here.
Right.
Sooner or later. But I wonder how that compares into the equation.
So I've had it.
Okay.
It is actually really good. Very different. More of a fast food chain vibe than what Cookout has. Cookout feels like you're going to like a local cookout in someone's backyard.
Yeah.
Or as people up north call like a barbecue. Like here, but around here, if you're barbecuing, there's barbecue involved.
Right.
But yeah, so that's more of like the vibe. The vibe inside of a Whataburger is almost kind of like a Hardee's. The way it feels and stuff.
Sure.
But I'll say it was good enough that we were out of town, and when you're out of town, you want to eat like interesting different places and whatever. Yeah. We had it 2 or 3 times while we were in Texas. Like we all liked it that much. Like it's the shit. It's hands down better than In-N-Out is.
Okay, so here's another comparison. This won't affect most of you people, but how does it compare to our local Whataburgers?
It's better. Our local Whataburgers is like, do you want to have a lady with a mustache bigger than mine serve you food? And then the guy behind it is somewhere like homeless adjacent.
Yeah.
And real greasy. But yeah, it's a different experience. It's
Yeah.
very humble experience. Our Whataburgers.
Oh yeah,
And
these
it's no shame.
Whataburgers are always rough because you can tell they're like good old boys.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
are,
yeah.
they went hunting and then they came here for their shift. Kind
Right.
of deal.
Yeah,
It's always interesting.
It's a chain that's like a hole. It's a hole in the wall that is a chain somehow.
Okay.
Just a small chain. But yeah, I like the one from Texas. It's quite good. So I think, Matt, should we go ahead and pivot over into the news?
Yeah, let's
Sweet.
do it.
All right, so there are several things happening in the news right now, and I'm trying to decide where to start. Actually, I want to talk about something that apparently happened a little while ago. It's a two-parter here, so I'll talk about actually what currently just happened, and then what is going from there. So basically, so Matt, have you heard about either of these things? I guess the first being that we are getting a show called The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. So this is an official movie starring Aang from The Last Airbender that's actually going to be coming out January 30th of 2026.
I think I heard something besides the live action that they were doing a new animated something.
Yes, so that's the other thing that I was going to talk about.
I don't think I'd heard about this movie.
Yeah.
I heard about they're doing another show about a different legendary bender or avatar.
Yep.
That's what I heard.
So yeah, that is happening, and that's what I was going to talk about in a second. But this is something totally different, and it's just called The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender. But it's like we already have The Last Airbender, so it's a little like we know that he's the last Airbender, I guess, and we've seen The Legend of Aang. So it's like, is this in between? I don't know if have you watched Korra, The Legend of Korra, or
I did. I watched like a season or two of it, and I just couldn't get into it as much as the last Avatar.
Yeah,
my gut instinct is that this is between those two shows,
right?
Because I mean, obviously, he goes on to become the Avatar, but I bet he does stuff still as the Avatar that is noteworthy. So I bet that's what's gonna be.
Well, it makes sense because the first series ended with him still as a kid, and we know that he got married and like all this stuff, and then it jumps all the way to Korra, where he has already passed away, I think, at that point. And his son is in it though,
right?
But he's not alive anymore, and it's like all of his family members and stuff. So this could be those in between years of like his adult years, which could actually be really cool. So I think this is pretty neat if you're a fan of The Last Airbender, and I didn't realize that this was happening.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's not a bad decision on their part,
right?
As long as they make it something that's interesting. I just don't know how they're going to do it because obviously everybody has a certain mindset for when it comes to Aang,
right?
And like we all think about him as a kid,
right?
So how do you make it
appealing to the old fans,
right, and to the new fans, and it's gonna be very interesting. I'll be curious to see what they do with that.
I am curious too. I hope it's good. This was an announcement that was made at CinemaCon, and they are saying that apparently Dave Bautista is actually going to be the villain in this. So I thought that was interesting that they're pulling a big star, but I guess it's a movie, so
yeah, it's just voice acting. I wonder if he'll be Firebender or if he's going to be like an Earthbender. I can see him being an Earthbender,
right?
Based on like his voice,
right?
I could see Earthbender.
And they went so many different interesting ways with Korra. I did like Korra. I know it gets some hate from some of the like diehards, but it was a big enough time gap between watching the original in college and then watching the other as an adult.
I didn't find it that interesting. I mean, there are some interesting concepts about being like, being a bender's kind of looked down upon in some ways from what I remember. I don't know. It just didn't grasp me and hold me in. I've heard plenty of people go and they love it. They're like, oh, Korra is just as good, and that's why I wanted to watch it. And maybe one day. Yeah,
it might stick. I think the animation looks great. It was a cool show. And like Matt was mentioning a minute ago, the other piece of news that I didn't even know was happening was that there's an Avatar sequel series that takes place after the Legend of Korra, and it's called Seven Heavens, and that's going to actually be another Nickelodeon show like the other one. And they're saying that it's going to be like a 2D animated series. It's going to be 26 half-hour episodes spread across 2 seasons, or books 1 and 2 in the Avatar style. And basically they announced this back actually on my birthday in February, so I had not heard about it, but
too busy partying.
I know, that's it. And so Seven Heavens hails from Avatar creators, I guess, that were previously attached, it sounds like. And per the official logline, the series is in a world shattered by a devastating cataclysm. A young earthbender discovers she's the new Avatar. So this is another female, I guess, Avatar, not airbender, but Avatar. after Korra, but in this dangerous era, the title marks her as humanity's destroyer, not its savior.
Interesting.
So it's going to be a bad Avatar.
Well,
or sounds like
she's probably gonna be pitched that way,
right?
And then she has to like prove herself. You know, be really smart. So we've had air, water. Now this will be an Earth Avatar,
right?
It'd be kind of cool if they did a 4th show, and they'll probably do this at some point to do like a fire one and just kind of do this like whole like
cyclical like
around, because I mean that's what the avatars are all about,
right?
And it's interesting, like it would be interesting to watch them all learn these skills differently,
right?
Because they all have to. They all have like innate like understandings and things like
and
that.
The time periods too. That was what made Korra cool, because in Korra there were like organized sports and cars and like mobsters and trains, but it was like almost in like almost kind of like how America was in like I guess the
like 18 something.
The 18 some odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a cool perspective. So I'm wondering if this one is probably honestly going to be even more modern, and then they could do another one that's like futuristic.
God, could you imagine
that would be
a futuristic one?
Yeah, that would
I'm
be
just thinking
cool.
about Samurai Jack, where he's like thrown into the future.
Mm-hmm.
It could be kind of like that. Obviously, they're going to grow up in it.
Right.
That'd be such a cool concept of like a firebender in the year 2050 or something like that.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I'm curious to see where they go with it. I'm intrigued in both these. We'll see. Avatar's kind of a niche thing. It's because it caters kind of to the new audiences of younger kids, but also the adults that have grown up with all of these over the years.
Yeah, but what's nice about Avatar is that you can show the original show to kids, and from what I've seen is that they enjoy it still. Like it still holds up. It's still an enjoyable experience. And then Legend of Korra, I think, is along the same vein. And so if they just keep with his art style, keep the storytelling on that level,
right,
where it's not overly complicated, kids can enjoy it, adults can enjoy it, and try not to be too adult about it,
right?
They have a good formula on their hands for a long series.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And taking several years off, this is more than several, honestly. It's quite a few years off in between every series. Seems pretty smart. So I don't know. I'm excited about the Avatar series and the movie. I think these could be cool. And hearing those Aang years in between, I think will be neat. Yeah. So the next little piece of news I was going to talk about, and I mentioned this on a news segment that I did forever ago, but they had not cast anybody. Sure. Essentially what is going on is that Sam Mendes, who did one of the Bond movies, I think, and I'm trying to remember, he did a really good war movie a couple of years ago, and it won a bunch of awards and stuff. It was very good, but I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. Sam Mendes. But anyways, basically, he is doing a Beatles, not just movie, but series of movies. He's literally doing each Beatle getting their own movie. So there will be 4 films that he is making. I think kind of all back to back or in tandem or something at the same time, maybe. Like it's a weird situation.
God, could you imagine? So like I'm just imagining them filming them all basically simultaneously, telling the same story from like 4 different
all the perspectives
and making 4 whole movies.
That's what it sounds like.
Nuts. I mean, they could easily do that, because that's kind of what they'd have to do,
right?
I would think.
Well, and the weird thing is they are saying that these movies are going to be released together in April of 2028. So like we're gonna have 4 Beatles movies coming out. So like, first off, the Ringo movie's gonna get fucked. So there's that. But yeah, so which that's what's interesting too here is, so what has officially come out is that we have our stars for this Beatles movie.
Okay, let's look.
All 4. So we've got a photo of all 4 boys together here. So what it is that it's going to be Paul Mescal as Paul McCarthy.
Okay.
So we got Paul playing Paul, which now I'll say this. After seeing Paul in Gladiator, I'm a little worried. Now, I haven't seen him in anything else. I've heard people say he is a good actor.
Okay.
I thought he was one of the worst parts of a very terrible movie. So, little worried. But they're really trying to make him happen in Hollywood right now.
Right.
I thought he was really bad in the Gladiator 2 movie.
Like, I mean, they should stop trying to make some people work.
Right.
Because, I mean, look at Snow White.
Right.
They were trying so hard to make what's her face work.
Yeah.
And,
so, maybe he's going to do better in this. I hope he does. I hope this movie's great. Then we have actually seen him in several things, and I can't remember
Harris Dick Nose.
Harris Dick Nose. Yes, that would be unfortunate. So I was trying to pull up here. I guess.
Iron Claw, Kingsman.
Yeah, easiest place to pull him up here is the first link. So yeah, I saw him in something I liked him in a lot. So he was in Maleficent. He was in something quite some time ago that I really liked. That was like a family film, and I don't see it on here. But he's been working quite a bit. He's a younger dude, but I guess recently he's in this Blitz movie and Baby Girl, Murder at the End of the World. I do remember seeing him in that fairly recently. So, but that show ended up being bad. He was the lead in the recent the Kingsman movie, so he was in that as well. So, and I'm showing you guys our StreamYard. That was great. Yeah. So that's the role he's playing. But we've got Joseph Quinn, who's also blowing up lately, and he's playing George.
Okay.
So I can see that working. Joseph Quinn is great. Also, interesting thing here that we have two actors both from the Gladiator movie. Joseph Quinn, I personally thought was one of the best parts of that terrible movie.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in this as well. And then lastly is Barry Keoghan, who is playing Ringo Starr. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. All three of these guys are up and coming dudes. They're all British actors. Well, I guess actually Paul, I think, is Irish, but either way, European at least. I'm curious about this. There's never been anything quite like this made.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't care about the Beatles that much to see 4 movies about them, so I will not be partaking.
That's a big ask.
I can already tell you that now. I didn't watch the one that Disney did, and I've heard mixed things about that. I heard it was kind of good, maybe not.
Maybe a little boring.
Yeah, a little boring, depending on like what your take was on the Beatles.
Right.
So I do think it's interesting. It's a big endeavor. It'll be very interesting, but also, I feel like the younger crowd doesn't care about the Beatles anymore.
Right.
I remember growing up, and there was a couple people I knew my age that loved the Beatles, but everybody else just didn't care. And I definitely think nowadays people are just like, I don't know who the Beatles are. I don't hear them on the radio anymore. I don't hear them, in the dentist offices, other places where they play just casual music.
Right, because growing up, we used to hear them all the time. By the way, Crisco mentioned in the chat, it was 1917 is what he directed, and that is a phenomenal movie. Highly recommend it. So, yeah, definitely do that.
Yeah. So I'll be curious to see if this does well, or if this is really just targeting the people like 40s, 50s, and 60s and older that were like really brought in through the Beatles. I'll be curious to see how this does, especially as a 4-movie project.
Yeah. Yeah, I am too. This is an interesting move. I'm surprised that a studio did this, but hey, why the heck not? I guess.
I mean, they're just thinking, oh, it's the Beatles. People will flock for the Beatles.
Right. I guess so.
We'll find out. I guess.
Yeah. Do the boomers, the Gen Xers, and I mean, because even like you're getting thinner on the audience with millennials already because we grew up like secondary. They were a retro band, and I mean, I love the Beatles. Don't get me wrong. Like I am into them for the most part. I haven't listened. It's not like I regularly listen to them though. I listened to them more when I was younger, but not now really.
Funny enough, a couple weeks ago, I sat and listened to the Beatles for like an hour.
Oh, really?
But that is literally the most I've listened to the Beatles in like 10 years, maybe. Because like you said, they're not a band I go to. They're not on any of my playlists.
Right.
There's very rarely a time where I'm like, yes, I got to go listen to the Beatles right now.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I'm curious to see the turnout for these. I mean, if they look good, I'll give them a go. It's just seeing 4 movies in 1 month, like all about the Beatles, unless one is just so good. But it's an interesting experiment. So, hey, why not? We aren't seeing a lot of risks in Hollywood. This is a risk. It is something interesting. It's a lot of up and coming actors.
And it might not cost them that much. Because if you really think about it,
they're filming them all as a unit.
And they can market it all as a unit too.
Right.
Where, if they're rolling all the marketing costs, filming it all, maybe it costs a little more to film, obviously, because they're doing.
Right. Like one ad markets all 4 movies.
Right. So you can just literally be like, this movie comes out this day, this day, and this day, this date, and it's the same trailer,
right?
And they just have it where it's like showing like 4 movies or something like that.
Right.
They could market to a degree, all together.
Like the biggest expense outside of obviously making the movie and stuff, if they can market them all together, would literally just be putting all of those films in theaters because that is expensive.
Yeah, I am kind of surprised they're going with the theater route. I feel the first one will be in theaters, and then the second, third, and fourth will be streaming at home. Maybe the first 2 will be in theaters, and then they'll be like, well, actually, this didn't do as well as we thought it was going to do. Because I don't think it's going to do well. I mean, there's not Beatlemania these days.
No, right. Yeah, I'm very curious. Jeremy says that apparently Ringo Starr has the most enduring popularity of them all, thanks to Thomas the Tank Engine. I have no idea what he has to do with Thomas the Tank Engine, but I am now very curious, or this might just be some type of inside joke here. But yeah, hey, You know, I hope the Ringo one is awesome. But I think that that's going to be it for the news. And now what we need to do is talk about what is streaming. So, Matt, I guess if you want to kick things off, you can. Or there is one thing I'm very excited to talk about.
I think I have maybe 2 things.
Okay.
I can't remember if I talked about one of these things already on here or not, so I will go ahead and do it anyway.
Right.
If I've already done it,
Right.
because I still really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I'll start with it. Sakamoto Days.
Oh yeah. I can't remember
if I've talked about
or if that was
it.
just personal.
I can't
we talked
remember.
about.
Anyways, it's a new anime on Netflix. There's
Yeah.
11 episodes currently, and another 11 are dropping starting in July.
Yeah.
And they've already announced they're doing a 2nd season on top of it.
Right.
It is doing really well, and I really enjoyed it.
And this is a Netflix anime or a Netflix original anime. This one isn't even on Crunchyroll or anywhere. Sometimes they're in 2 different places.
No, yeah, this is a Netflix anime.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's probably their best anime
What?
that they've ever done.
Interesting.
Because
Yeah.
I really like Dorohedoro,
Ooh.
which you don't.
Better than Delicious in Dungeon.
Yes.
Bruh. Oh yeah.
I didn't even finish Delicious.
What?
Zena and I both fell off.
Oh
We were
my
just
God.
like, this is not.
Oh, it's
It
phenomenal.
lost us.
That's wild.
We got lost in the sauce for that
You
one.
were the only person I know that has not dug that show. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you why we didn't.
Which
just
you
both
seem to be
fell off.
very particular about the anime that you like. Like you're substantially more particular than me, and I'm a noob to anime.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
anyways, yeah.
But anyways, so the whole premise for those that don't know, maybe this will draw you in, is that there is this top tier hitman who falls in love, and his bride to be is like, you must quit being a hitman and never kill another person. And he does. He's like, okay, I'll quit. And they have a baby, and he runs a convenience store, and he gets fat.
Mhm.
And somebody puts a hit out on him,
Mhm.
and they don't know who it is still. Well, they kind of know, but there's a hit put out on him. So all his hitmen start showing up, but he's such a god tier like hitman. Like he can catch a bullet with chopsticks, or he like can shoot a bubble gum and knock a bullet's trajectory somewhere else.
Mhm.
And so there's this comedic element that
It's very stupid.
throughout.
The
Oh,
show's
yeah.
pretty stupid.
It is,
And I
but
don't
it's
mean that in a bad way.
hilarious.
Like it's a funny show. It's stupid.
Right, it's stupid funny.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't make any sense. There's no way a bubble gum could. I mean, maybe it could, but like, it's like hard to believe.
It's ludicrous. It's
It-
very over the
yeah.
top, and yeah, it's fat John Wick.
Yeah, but it's better because he won't kill anybody.
right.
And
That
so
won't
he's
be-
like, and he starts taking all these like assassins and all these people in
to work at his
to
shop.
work at his little convenience store, but
Yeah.
they're either like assassins or things like that, and it's just ridiculous. But it's also super gory
Right.
because he's the funny part. But there's all this whole hitman league and all that, and they're all just all coming for him, and they get really creative and interesting. Because as in most things, when you have really good hitmen, they're all super weird and unique because that's just what you do.
Right.
Animes and shows and movies alike.
Yeah.
So I'll start with that one.
It's
'cause-
fun, and Jeremy actually in the chat, he has reviewed this as well. I was looking to find his so he gave it a 78, liked it pretty well,
Yep.
and he pretty much said John Wick meets Kim's Convenience,
Mhm.
and with some Japanese weirdness. And yes, it is definitely a lot of Japanese weirdness. I would honestly say that this is one of the weirder animes that I've seen.
Yeah.
And that's even with someone who has seen
Attack on Titan.
No, Attack on Titan's honestly not that weird. No, that was what I started with. Maybe I started weird.
though.
Right. I'm thinking about the other Netflix one that is like one of my favorite animes that I'm blanking on.
The Dungeons, one you're
no,
talking
it starts with the D. Nope, the other one that I love.
These nuts.
Yep, D's nuts. Actually,
He
it
said
has
he
a lot
loves
of
them.
nuts, golden nuts. Yeah, he gets his nuts, dick and balls stolen by a witch, and oh my god, I'm blanking.
Wow, I
Anyways,
don't
Jeremy
think
will
I've
say it in the
seen that
chat.
one.
He loves it too, and
I
I'm
haven't seen that
blanking.
one.
It's so good. But anyways, yes, this is a weird anime. So yeah, I don't think that it's my my favorite of the Netflix animes. The other two I think I like better than this one, but I
Yeah.
still am enjoying the show.
Yeah.
So I think it's solid.
I'll just say it did make me bust out laughing multiple times,
Yeah.
which is pretty rare for like
That
anything
it
to make me
is.
bust out laughing. I'll chuckle at things, but to bust out laughing,
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I gotta give this like definitely a high most excellent, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah, it's solid. So what I want to talk about is something that I watched today that I've been very curious about and was a little scared to watch, and it's a show called The Studio. And now I can unequivocally say, like, absolutely 100% watch this show. It is called The Studio. It is on Apple. It is absolutely worth watching if you are a like movie buff, if you're a fan of cinema, if you are somebody who is currently really ticked off and aggravated with the current state of Hollywood and the trash that they've been putting out.
Yeah.
This show is about roasting the ever-loving shit out of modern Hollywood. Like that is literally the purpose of the show. And the interesting thing here is that it is like written, produced, I think even directed by Seth Rogen of all people. And this show is like, we were actually having a chat. I was having a chat with Dark Forest actually in Criticless, and we were talking about it. And essentially, I was trying to remember the breakdown that he actually gave it because he compared it to something. He was essentially saying that it had like an A24 vibe because it does. It does kind of have this artsy feel to it. And we were kind of talking about that under his review, and we were deep in the comments. I was going to search down and see what he called it, but anyways, yeah. Basically, though, this show is shot in a lot of one shots, which is what, like, for example, what Daredevil got known for at one time, where you're getting these shots that are 5-10 minutes long and just you're following the actor around. You're getting these excellent performances by people. It's all very cohesive and just it's got a lot of movement to it. So a lot of the show is filmed that way. And actually, from what I gather, either the second or third episode is a single shot.
Wow.
For the whole like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Which is impressive. And there was another Netflix show that recently did that adolescent show that a lot of people in our side of the internet say is trash. But this show does that. But it is very funny. I have laughed a lot. They are roasting Hollywood into oblivion. And essentially, the way that it works and what it's about is that Seth Rogen's character worked at a film studio, and what ended up happening was the executive ended up getting fired and he got the place of this executive. But he is this kind of hoity-toity, or I say hoity-toity, he's into film and cinematography. He's into classic filmmaking. He wants to make films, not movies, which is a thing that he is kind of roasted about when he goes to the owner of the studio. And the guy's like, look, I hear you like films and I'm here to make movies, and movies make money. And he's basically just like, you're part of this machine. And he's like, so I need you to say that you're okay with your primary focus being the bottom dollar. And so that's kind of the premise of this. And it starts off with him saying, okay, so look, now that you've said that you're doing that, I have bought the rights to Kool-Aid. And we are making a Kool-Aid movie. Because if Barbie can make money, then the Kool-Aid man can make even more money. And so that's the premise of the initial episode. And it spirals to chaos from there. And it's basically just him sacrificing his morals at every step of the way and compromising until he studio monstrosity that they wanted from him. And
yeah. And I can imagine that's quite easy to do and would probably be entertaining and also depressing to watch.
Yeah. It is wild. I had a blast. I was like 10 or 15 minutes in and I was just like, I paused it and Sid walked through and I was just like, holy shit. This show is phenomenal. Like, it is so good. And I laughed quite a bit. There are so many celebrities in the first episode alone. Like, Martin Scorsese is a plot point in the first episode and is one of the main characters in the first episode. Like, and he's only one of many people. Steve Buscemi is in the first episode.
Okay.
Paul Dano is in the first episode. It's just like a list. And apparently every episode is like that. Like, he apparently gathered all of Hollywood to do this show to roast the shit out of Hollywood.
Yeah, because I imagine a lot of Hollywood, don't get me wrong, I think there's a lot of Hollywood that also like is fine with it, but a lot of Hollywood, they wanted to tell stories. They wanted to become these characters and be, get famous and like be household names, not just to make money because you're selling out.
Right.
I would like to think that anyways.
Yeah. And I get that vibe. And there's some interesting conversations here between people.
Yeah.
And them just kind of analyzing it. And you are going to get more from this show if you are a movie buff, or if you do like us and you watch a movie every, week or so, and you're like in it and you see it and you know it, you will dig this show. And it is actively very funny. Now, it is crass and like vulgar in the way that Seth Rogen things are. But luckily, the thing that I was the most worried about was just that over the past few years, Seth Rogen has definitely taken a turn into being a more political kind of activist-y type. Now, he's pulled back over the past few years, but still, he's one of those that went real hard in it for a while there, like back in 2020 and stuff. And I was just like, this might suck.
But that was my, like, if I see his name on anything, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch this because...
it might be trash.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to waste my time on his things.
Right. Yeah. Because it easily could be not great. Yeah. So, yes. No, this is fantastic. It is so well made. And I'm all in. I'm honestly, this is one of those where I'm like, I hate that this is weekly. I hate that this comes out every week. I'm that in.
So it is a brand new show.
It is a brand new show. It just came out. There's 4 episodes, I think.
Okay.
So it came out a few weeks ago. I was waiting to see, and I started hearing good buzz, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I should probably watch this.
Okay.
Especially being the subject matter and what we do and everything else. I'm like, I should watch this. And then I did, and I was like, this is amazing. So highly, 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 highly recommend the studio. We only have 1 review in Criticless right now, and it is by Dark Forest. He gave it a 90%, but it's the shit. It's so good. So if you have Apple, watch it.
Sure. Well, so since we're talking about Apple things and all that jazz, I'll talk about the second thing I've been watching. And it's actually what's consumed the last like 4 nights. Why not go ahead and also watch it? It was funny, Zena, we're just sitting there. She was just like, I don't know what to watch. And I was listing off things, and I was just like, she'd already watched like 4 episodes, and I just like looked over, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna restart Severance then. And she was just like, yeah, let's do it. And so I think that was, we're on Thursday now. I think that was Monday or Sunday. And we watched 3 episodes a night.
Oh, so you're all in.
We're already in the 2nd season.
Holy shit. So you like it. I was real curious. I could not decide what you were going to think about it.
No, I definitely like it, especially having like worked at a corporate job for like 10 years. It's funny because one of my favorite things to do at the office, since I worked in this huge office building, office building, you could just walk for days in rows of cubes, and it was just a sea of cubes. And if you ever got there early, which I used to go in at 7, it was just emptiness, basically as far as you could see.
And the show captures that.
Oh, it does. And so like watching this, I was just like, man, and I like it. There's something weird. Like I like sitting in a hall that's super long, like hotels.
Yeah.
Where it's just super long. It's this weird effect where it's just repetition, but it's getting smaller and farther away.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about it. I've always just liked it.
That's really interesting.
And so doing it at like work was just something, it's just like a pleasing aesthetic for me.
Yeah.
So this show does capture that.
Yeah.
And so that drew me in style wise.
Yeah. Oh, this show has style, more style than anything more than many shows. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it's just, it's a crazy show. I mean, I can see where it is a slow burn to a degree. You are like pulled in, like wondering why, like somebody would choose to separate their work life completely from their outside of work life. I mean, on the skin, you're like, oh, that's not a bad idea at all.
Right.
But this starts diving into the complications of what your innie is, like a newborn being. You know, they don't have any experiences outside the world. Like they talk about like, what's the sky look like?
Yeah. Yeah. Because they've never seen it.
And I never thought about that.
Right.
Like, at first I was like, oh, cool. I don't have to think about work at home. Cool.
Right.
But it's like, oh, all these other things going on that like are really crazy, let alone the actual like story that's actually happening.
Right.
Because the story itself is super interesting.
Yeah.
Like I've got all these theories Zane and I talk about. We'll pause it halfway through and talk, and then we'll watch the rest of the episode and talk about it. And I think we're 2 episodes into the 2nd season. Because what is there 3 seasons?
2.
Okay, it's just 2.
I think. Now you've got me questioning. No, there are 3. There are 3. There are 3.
Okay,
yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you got more to go.
Talking about next week too, guys.
Yeah. Some more Severance.
But I can say for the first season, it was really good.
Yeah, highly recommend it. I've talked about it for the past like 2 or 3 weeks. So,
well, that's what sucks. Like
and
Chris
too.
isn't here because he's not feeling well. But
I know.
Like, it would have been cool. Like, I know he would have been jazzed.
Yeah.
To hear that I was also watching it. And I'm sure, like, Zena, and I'll talk to you about it after the show.
Yeah. I'm interested to hear y'all's more spoilery thoughts and where y'all are thinking this is going. And actually, I did want to bring up, Caveat Ties brought it up here, and I just did want to call attention to it. He said he's watching Brave New World on Peacock right now, and he said there's some things that he loves. He loves the book, some things he despises about the show, but other things are intriguing he likes. I adore that show. I think it's phenomenal. I think it was one of the best things that Peacock did, and it was canceled too soon. It only lasted 1 season. I think it was getting better and better as the show went on, and then they canceled it.
Yeah, I think the problem was that came out when Peacock was still too new.
It was the first show, I think.
Yeah, so, and I really liked it too. I think I would have definitely given it a high rad if I haven't reviewed it. I don't think I have, but it was definitely like a great show. I've not read the book, so I did not have anything to compare it to.
Right. Yeah.
Which can be better if you're watching a show.
Right, like exactly. So it definitely quite often will hurt if you're familiar with a book or whatever. We all know that. But yeah, I do recommend checking out Brave New World if you have Peacock and haven't watched it. So I did want to touch on really quickly, we have been deep into the same universe, and not exactly the same show, but we are balls deep in some Yellowstone, like real deep.
Okay.
So if you weren't aware, the ending of Yellowstone, it
Sure.
aired a while ago.
Okay.
They split the last season in half and basically took way too long to make it because the show lost Kevin Costner and different
Right.
things, and there was all this hubbub. But anyways, the show's been on for 5 seasons. It's 53 episodes. It's one of my favorite shows of all time.
Mhm.
I love it. I gave it a 92%, and now that it's finished, I think I'd still give it somewhere in that range.
Okay.
I still love it, and I will say so. So the last half, what I was going to bring up was that it is officially on Peacock, so you can finally see it. Because it used to only be on Paramount Network where it aired, and then it's just been nowhere, and so you weren't able to watch it.
And I feel like that hurts them. I mean,
absolutely.
I understand to a degree because I constantly like ponder like how they're making money on any of this shit.
Mhm.
Because like, how are they going to make money on this? If you make
Right.
something and you put it on Peacock, I mean, I guess I know the longevity is that they get shipped around and all
Right.
that stuff, but it's not like there's commercials and
No, there are actually all
viewership.
on Peacock. Peacock has commercials
If you pay-
still.
if you don't pay.
No, period. You pay,
Oh,
you
really?
still get commercials. Peacock said, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
The cock does not
Well,
care.
I mean, they're all doing that. I mean,
Yeah.
Netflix is getting to that point. Amazon is doing it.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're paying, like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
here we
They're
are. TV.
Yeah.
It
Back.
only took 15 years.
Right. And
And
back
not
in
even
it.
like, well,
Yeah, about 15.
15-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the end is of the show is on Peacock officially, so everything's there. And I was very pleased. Sid was very pleased. We loved it. It is very interesting. It went some places I wasn't expecting, and so I'm happy with it. But the other thing with that is, so we finished it and we were like, crap, like because we watched nonstop for like several days.
Yeah.
Finished it up and we're like, what now? And then we're like, oh, there's a brand new season of 1923, which is the sequel or prequel series. Sorry. For the show as well, which is on Paramount Plus, not Peacock.
Yeah.
But and there's a prequel series to this one, so this was the one that followed that up, and there was a big time gap in between.
The middle series.
This is the one that stars Harrison Ford and Brandon Sklenar, who's blown up recently and is pretty famous, and it has Timothy Dalton, previous Bond. So yeah, he's in this, and he plays a dirty, nasty pervert. He is an absolute freak.
Like him. It's
Me
like, I
too.
can't remember. I saw him something else, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, he's great. Well, he was in. I'm trying to remember a show that Penny Dreadful. He was in Penny Dreadful, which I love. And so that was the last thing I saw him in. But 1923, I think is still great. It's still on par with the other Yellowstone shows. It is a heavy, dark, gritty, like they're going to put these characters through hell. But it is very much of that time period of the 20s and that world and the, moguls coming over and taking over that state and all of that. I think it's excellent. Very good. We're very happy. We've seen like 3 episodes now and we're all in. So 1923 is still very good. So
cool.
Yeah, we're still very happy with all the Yellowstone stuff and still love it all. So yeah, I think that covers it, but I'm pretty sure that everybody else is probably ready for us to talk about Minecraft. Guys, we're going to get into our spoiler-free discussion. All right. So, the Minecraft movie. We finally made it to this point. You're all waiting with bated breath. You're wanting to know what we think. And so for those that don't know, a Minecraft movie has been in development hell forever. A lot of people probably didn't know that. This was actually had like totally different directors, totally different people involved, a different script. It was the initial plan for this film, from what I gather, was actually quite different, and it fell apart.
It's probably that they were trying to make it like super woke.
Right. Well, it makes me wonder, because
what
I actually feel like that probably wasn't the case, because the original director, writer, creator attached to the movie was Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny. So that has another level of perplexing me.
Yeah.
Granted, he's been tiptoeing around in that arena a little bit with like Mythic Quest and stuff, but still, he's not like full blown wokey, whatever. So I don't know. But he was supposed to make this. Now, this movie, let me just set the stage here, because it is directed by Jared Hess. If you don't know who Jared Hess is the guy that did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre and And so, yes, he is a notoriously very weird director. He did Son of Zorn. There's been a lot of things, several things over the years that he's been attached to, but all of them have been very weird, especially Gentlemen Broncos. If you've never seen that one, super weird. Chris talked about it a little while back. But so Jared Hess is who's directing this. It's starring Jason Momoa, Jack Black, and they're kind of the two big leading men in this. And if you will see, speaking of Gentlemen Broncos, it actually does have Jermaine Clement in it as well. He's almost unrecognizable. He has an American accent for like the first time ever. And then also the shining star here, let's be straight, it's Jennifer Coolidge. Jennifer Coolidge is fucking phenomenal in this movie as always.
So strange.
She's so weird.
So strange.
Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
So which she's gotten more and more famous the older she gets, which after she was in White Lotus is what made her blow up. White Lotus is really what like sent her stardom.
Right. Brought her back into famedom because she's like not famous at all except for American Pie. And now she's like back into things just so randomly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So this Minecraft movie already, I will say, so I have had, I have one of my friends with benefits you can see on the screen has actually already seen this and gave it a bogus. The interactions or the thoughts on this movie are going to be very interesting because it's getting a lot of criticism from the critics. Currently, we have a heinous, a decent, and a bogus, which is a full spread. And we've still got two more potential types of scores to show up here.
Yeah.
So because we don't have a most excellent or a rat in here yet. But this movie is going to be controversial for the simple fact that it's based on an IP. And people who are passionate about that are either going to be okay with it or they're going to hate it.
Right.
Also, it is based off something that kids are a huge fan of, which is Minecraft. My kids are giant fans. Matt got to see that firsthand watching the movie as my daughter was cheering and screaming and fist pumping.
No, she cheered on the production title page.
Yes. Oh yeah.
She was like,
"Dad, it's Mojang. It's Mojang. It's Mojang." Yeah. Yeah. To that level, there is that level of excitement about this, and so that's the thing too. Is we have now like multiple generations growing up with this game as well.
Yeah.
So there's so much complexity here. And then all of that is also that Jared Hess is directing the movie and he's weird as shit. And you are kind of either on board for Jared Hess's weirdness, like with Napoleon Dynamite, or you're not. And so that is a whole other component to this movie.
Right.
So I'm super interested to see what the audience's opinions are going to be of this. But now after seeing it, my mind has shifted a bit, and being present with a relatively full IMAX film or theater
Dolby.
full of it. Yeah, this was IMAX this time that we saw it in, not Dolby.
It was Dolby.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. It was Dolby.
Yeah.
You're right. I thought we had to go to the
everything
IMAX.
in Dolby.
Well, we hadn't been lately. We haven't seen like the past several movies in Dolby.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, they haven't been showing anything in Dolby. But yeah, it was great to be back in Dolby. Holy shit, it looks so great. Everything looks great in Dolby, sounds great in Dolby compared to the little dinky theaters that once you go into Dolby. But all of that aside, so the Minecraft movie. Matt, did you have any preconceived notions or opinions? Did you think that you were going to like this?
I tried to go in open-minded. But my gut was like, this is going to be a heinous movie. I saw like part of the trailer and Jason Momoa looks ridiculous and like,
and he's like kind of fat, which is interesting for Jason Momoa as well.
Yeah, he had a gut.
Yeah,
he was wearing like skin tight like shirts with a gut going on.
Yeah,
but then it was like,
and Jack Black. People are over Jack Black's shtick lately as well, which seems to be a reoccurring thing.
Yeah, because he's now to the point of famedom where they can just put him in anything. He just is himself. Like, it doesn't change. He's just Jack Black playing Jack Black as Jack Black. He's now in those tiers of Tom Cruise, The Rock, and all that, where they can't act.
Right.
They just are who they are, and you can cast because you are that person.
Right.
But then also just the Minecraft world.
Yeah.
Like looked weird as hell, like in the trailer. You know, it's just like, wow,
this is very vivid and bright, and just not what you would expect because it's not pixely, it's cubey, which is not what we were all expecting.
Right. So you get a nicely animated cubes, but then also humans, walking around, which is where it gets weird.
Which is the humans in the other world effect versus vice versa. So, which is kind of come back to my complaints about like the Sonic movies, which is like if they were going to put humans in them, I would have rather it been this format versus taking the Sonic characters out of their world and their cartoony land they live in, putting them in the real world, and all of a sudden all these cartoony things are happening in the real world, which can be jarring for me personally. Versus their decision here was to bring people into Minecraft world, which at least in theory to me that concept works better because you can be more ridiculous.
Depends on like what tone you're looking to send,
right?
Because the Sonic movies do tell a more serious tone. They do some things. They do some things that are, you know, a little ridiculous with the rings and all that jazz, but it's more serious toned. Whereas this movie, it is goofier because they're in the Minecraft world,
right?
Majority of the movie.
Yep, they are. And the other thing that I did not mention about this movie is the plot. So basically, it's that there are these 4 people. It is a kid, his sister, then the Jason Momoa character, and Jack Black playing the titular character of Steve from the Minecraft world. Which, if you don't know anything about Minecraft is what you make of it. As far as I know, there is no legit story. There's lore to Minecraft, but not like a story. And I've played it. I played it a long time ago, I think before Microsoft even owned it. But you're just crafting and building things and making your own little adventure and surviving. It was a survival game. So, but this is that these 4 individuals get pulled into this. There's still 4 of them.
So Steve's already
Steve's
there.
the 5th.
Right.
Yeah, Steve's the 5th. 4 people get brought in. And so, but Steve is also a regular real person who came from the real world, but he's been there. And so that's the whole plot essentially. And that they are, they get brought in and trapped there, and they're either kind of going to try and get out / save this world and help Steve. That's
it's a very basic story.
Yeah.
There's nothing special. It is just a normal story.
Yeah. It's not anything you haven't necessarily seen before as far as how the plot is laid out and set up. But I guess let's go ahead and get into our opinions and kind of where we're going to rate this. So, Matt, where do you score the Minecraft movie?
Does that mean there's gonna be like other Minecraft movies?
Right.
Is that what they're inferring by that?
Right.
Because you said that earlier too, and I was thinking about it.
Right.
Other movies.
Like the next one's called Another Minecraft Movie.
A different Minecraft movie. That's the third.
Yeah.
I think this is somewhere in the decent range for me.
Okay.
I didn't particularly care for the story in the beginning third of it.
Interesting.
Just the way the story was being told and kind of unfolding. It didn't like. I was just like, this isn't that great. But by
the early portion of the film is in the real world. It was not in the Minecraft world, and it actually kind of feels like Napoleon Dynamite. Like you can tell that that's the dude that made it.
Yeah, now you say it.
To the point of the tater tots. They're tater tots.
Yep.
In multiple parts. Plot devices, tater tots.
There's a tater tot pie.
Yeah. It's that
pizza
dude.
Pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can definitely tell. So I actually think I'm in the upper decent because the latter half of the movie seems to really found its footing. There's just something about that first half of the movie that didn't feel. Maybe it was the setup because the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes are in the Minecraft world.
But it's also
it's a ton of exposition.
I think that's what it is. I think it's the setup exposition that feels weird.
Yes, that was the first like 5 or 10 minutes were exposition and explaining how Steve got there and all of that.
Yep.
So
originally I would have been like, this is maybe a bogus because of that.
Right.
But as the movie progressed, and then I was thinking about how this is really a smartly made movie for kids.
And and you got to witness my kids sitting through it as well, or watching it, whatever. So,
and this is a decent adventure movie for kids, which we don't have a lot of nowadays.
Yes, and this movie is definitely catered towards kids.
Oh, definitely.
Like this is a family film. This is not like when Marvel comes out making comic book movies and they're catered towards like PG-13 and up, not below. This is a PG movie made for a PG audience.
Yep.
Period.
with some hidden adult jokes in there. 'Cause
Yes.
There were
Oh, yeah. There was
some
definitely.
eyebrow raising and
Yeah.
things like that. There's definitely some times where you and I were
Yeah.
cackling. And the
Like
kids
the
were
man
just like,
sandwich.
Say no more yet.
Yeah.
Say no more yet.
So
But yes,
we'll
the
leave
man
it
sandwich. So as we were watching though, my mind was kind of changing gears.
Right.
I could easily see being like, oh, this movie's heinous or bogus.
Mhm.
But with the intended audience in mind, and actually how I really was enjoying it by the end, and did get semi-emotionally attached at like by
Right.
the end, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this to me has to be at least a high decent. I
Right.
could even see going to a red,
Right.
but I don't think so. Not in
Okay.
my mind, because I have no ties to
The IP.
the lore, or anything
Right.
like that.
And this movie does do a epic truckload of fan service. Like a lot. I was actually a bit shocked at how much they cater to the Minecraft people and the lore and how the world works and explaining it all and building it all. There was a ton of world building in this, which I actually kind of wasn't expecting, because most of these type of films are kind of a half-ass, like half step of an explainer.
But it's smart.
Yeah.
This is what we've always said. If you do a movie like this, you got to be smart, and you have to make it where the people that have put thousands of hours into your game want to come watch it. It's the same thing with the Warhammer movie. It's a show that's eventually going to happen. Like, if they're smart, they need to make it where it's the fan service.
Yeah.
Done smartly. Tell them the story they want. Don't fuck it up.
Right.
And then you'll have the fans come. They're going to bring their families, and they're going to go, wow, this is a really cool, like, war movie in space with these really crazy looking Marine dudes.
Right.
Like, that would be really cool. And that's what I feel like this movie did do in a cartoony kind of way. Like, they've made it where it was great for the kids.
Yeah.
Because your kids were cackling like the majority of that movie.
My daughter said it is, which she regularly says
She
this,
says it
but
every movie.
she says this pretty regularly, but this is her new favorite movie, officially. So, and my son liked it a whole lot too. But I guess that gets to my opinion of this.
Yeah, hit us with it.
I really fucking like this movie. Like, I'm shocked at how much I like this movie. I don't even really think it had much to do with the kids being there. Like, you and I laughed a lot.
We did.
I don't know the last. I literally do not know the last time I've seen you laugh this much in a film. Fucking in ages.
Yeah.
In ages. Like, you laughed a lot, and you don't do that
Because it was actually had funny moments.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's like, oh, I need to laugh now. These were catch you off your guard.
Yeah.
Bust out laughing, especially at the very end. Don't want to spoil anything, but at the very end, the first cutscene got me laughing, and the kids were like, "Why are they laughing?"
Yeah,
so
we
much?
were laughing
You and I
harder
were cackling
because
and
of
then
what they
somebody
did.
else talks, and they like cackle, like everyone else laughed about that, but you and I had already laughed.
Oh yeah,
we
yeah.
shot our load.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We
saved it for the end there.
Yeah, because it was so funny. I was not expecting that. This is a rad for me.
Okay.
I'm easily putting this in a rad. I don't think it's the most excellent. It has its problems. I think there's some characters in this movie that just were nothing burgers. The sister and honestly the real estate agent / animal taker person. They were both just kind of nothing burgers along for the ride.
They could have been a combined character, I think.
Yes, they could have been a singular character.
It would have been better.
Yeah.
There wasn't a reason to have them both.
No.
That could have been a one character.
And the problem is like one of the chicks was like too much and the other was not enough.
Yeah.
Like they just didn't work well. They weren't great. But the young boy, it works well for that audience surrogate character that's just like he's the kid that is he is who the kid who plays Minecraft relates with.
Yep.
That's who he is. He's not extremely layered or interesting necessarily. He's just that. He's kind of a blank slate. But Jason Momoa and actually Jack Black make this movie. More so Jason Momoa. He's fucking hilarious in this.
Agree.
You didn't like him?
No.
Oh.
So fucking annoying.
Really?
I liked him. Time. Maybe by the end I liked him a little bit more.
Man, I liked him.
He was the worst part of this movie.
Oh,
I liked him for like a little bit and then it kept going.
He was a full-blown he is a character from this director. Like he feels like he is a Napoleon Dynamite character. He's fucking weird and annoying and stupid.
Yeah.
Like it's very on brand for this director.
Over the top for me. I think that's what it was. And he just kept going.
I kind of liked it.
And I just kept being like,
yeah, I mean, and that is the thing. Like there's a lot of this comedy and like stuff with Jason Momoa's character and stuff. Like it's either going to work for you or it's not. It worked for me. I thought it was really funny. I laughed way more than I expected. I thought it was, I mean, this movie's stupid as shit. Like it's dumb, but kids love dumb.
But it's also just simple. Like they have plenty of dumb in there, which I mean, everyone loves dumb.
Right.
Slapstick comedy is the
Right.
highest form of comedy because it's just dumb fun. Like people getting hit, it's just funny.
Right.
And that's what they do in this is a
Well,
lot of action comedy.
And I think a lot of the comedy works when Jason Momoa and Jack Black are together. And like they are playing off each other. We mentioned the man sandwich earlier. There's a bit with that and several others that are just very, very funny and really worked for me very well.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting to laugh this much. And actually the other component is when I saw the trailers and stuff, I was like, this looks weird as shit. It looks kind of stupid. It looks fantastic. Like it actually to me looked really good. It's just that there were moments like when the humans are there and stuff, you're like, you can tell like these humans aren't in this world. There's some moments that worked really well. There's some that didn't.
Yeah, there were some times where it seemed a little rushed.
Yeah.
Which for me was like, I don't know why they rushed some things.
Yeah, there was.
I think it was like a fan service almost, being like,
Right.
look, here we are in the mines or
Yeah.
whatever.
It was a lot of we're here and we're here and we're here and we're here. There's a lot of jumping around. There was one spot in particular in the film where it makes a big jump and you're like, wait, what just happened? Like this was a big plot jump.
Yeah.
But all in all, like tension holding family film. Your harsh critics, your hypercritical people are probably not going to like this.
Yeah, for sure. If you're not going to like think about it as a kids movie,
right?
Necessarily, you're probably going to be like, this was a bad movie, which I fully understand. So I don't think this movie is going to be like sitting in the rad or most excellent in the long run. I think it'll be sitting in a decent, or maybe I think it'll be a decent. That's my guess. Like come next week, it'll be a decent.
Right. Yeah, I think so. And I think that this is probably going to be one of those similar to The Electric State, where the critics are going to be shocked by how much people like it and how well the movie does.
Okay. That's my favorite part about the whole movie was that 2 seats next to me was this older lady and she just kept cackling. She would just be like,
there was people were cracking up this whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I have not been in a theater with this many people laughing at damn near every joke in a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is stupid humor. It's really goofy. And we got a $5 from Quagmire. He said, I missed something. What show did you guys like? By the way, the heavy metal score hadn't changed. You got until 420. After that, it'll be S plus ode. So yeah, he's coming after me. So Quagmire, sorry about that, buddy. I guess I need to. Well, I can't give a score because it's not streaming anywhere. And Matt has had my Blu-ray copy for like a year and a half.
Xena, I need to sit down and watch it.
Y'all need to watch it. You need to see some like old school animated tits, wall-to-wall tits. There's a lot of those. But after I rewatch it, maybe my opinion goes even higher. So
maybe is he wanting it to be like a most excellent?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of people that I got a little bit of crap just because I think my score is like a rat. It's not even like I wasn't too harsh on it, but everybody's like, this is most excellent or nothing. So I mean, it's a fun one, but. Yeah, and I'm glad to see too. So Cinematic, he said basically that he's glad that he's not the only one that found it funny. And yeah, dude, it is funny. And I'm honestly really shocked at how harsh everybody's being because this is one of those that I feel like Matt said, like I feel like this is kind of that at least a decent. And it doesn't really. I just feel like everybody's being real brutal to it. And I mean, for me, like I said, this is like a mid to a little bit above mid rad.
Yeah.
And I think it's like I said, it's not complex. Like Matt was pointing out, the story's not anything crazy. This isn't going to break the mold, but like I had fun watching it.
The thing is, this movie is going to be iconic to the kids. That's where, because that's where how I keep thinking about this movie is like, yeah, for us, we're like, okay, this is a fun movie, but to the kids. So like, anyway, it's like, and I'm more thinking 10 to 15-year-old kids that played Minecraft and all that, and I haven't not been like hit over the head with Jack Black their whole lives, things like that.
Which in Black, he's better in this. I will say, I've seen him several things, and like the Jumanji movies, all that. I'm like, I'm fucking over it, bro. Stop doing this. For whatever reason, I found him funny in this, and I haven't found him funny in a long time.
Yeah,
like.
I don't know if he was writing his own stuff, or
because he was doing some improv. He was saying words weird as shit. Like, and I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think so. Also, he's worked with this director before. He has a notorious film with this director, which is Nacho Libre. And I think that this guy I think Jared Hess just lets him cut loose.
Yeah. And I'm guessing that's what, like, like you said, they've worked on 2 other projects together. I think
Right.
it is, and so it's definitely where they know each other well
Right.
enough where they know how to work off each other.
Yeah.
So he definitely kind of comes back. He is a little annoying still, but it's the weirdest thing. I was annoyed in the first half, like with everybody,
Right.
until they introduced the kid, and that's when for me it just started taking a different tone. The movie just started morphing into something different,
Mhm.
and it became less. All these like over the top characters became less annoying.
Yeah.
Now, like you said, I think critics are going to hate this movie.
Yeah.
Because we've seen these
They
actors
roast shit like
before.
this.
They're not great.
Yeah.
But for the younger crowd,
Yeah.
they're
I
gonna
think
love
they're
it.
going to love it. And I
Yeah.
think honestly, I think a lot of the parents whose kids have them go see this, the parents are going to have fun and they're going to be like, well, I've seen a lot worse kids movies. I've had a lot less fun. And it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw this. So yeah, he basically points out that he says that the plot reminded him a lot of episode 1 of The Studio and the Kool-Aid movie. And dude, I kept thinking about that while watching this. And I was like, this is how you make the Kool-Aid movie work. Like,
Yep.
this is how you make this actually, like, this should have been terrible. I shouldn't have laughed this much. Like, yeah, there's a good chance that like this is just mined for money and a studio is just trying to print money and whatever. But like, I also had fun. And like, I think that they could have done a lot worse. This could have been a lot more stereotypical. Like, it could have been a lot more bland. It could have been like, I know that you didn't like the early portions of the movie. I actually loved the early stuff because it reminded me so much of Napoleon Dynamite. And I've seen Napoleon Dynamite so many times.
This is probably gonna like piss off people, but I don't like Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, jeez.
It's not funny. And the only reason it's funny because everyone quotes the motherfucking shit out of it. You can quote that. And like it was to the point where before I even got the chance to see it, I'd heard every quote. And then I watched it and I was like, this isn't funny. And I've just everyone who,
which is interesting that you find this funny because it's very similar humor to that.
There was a couple. Well, so the thing was, like in this movie, there's a couple times, but
and the earlier stuff was the most Napoleon Dynamite-y. Once they got into the Minecraft world,
plays into my like
not liking it.
Right.
Yeah, which is I think honestly that first like hour or so it is some of the best stuff in the film because it reminded me so much of those movies.
Yeah.
So that is going to be mileage may vary with that as well.
Right.
So I mean, if you have,
I'm in the minority though. I think of people that don't like Napoleon Dynamite. I think most people are like, I love Napoleon Dynamite, or they saw it once and were like, I don't remember this movie at all, so I don't talk about it.
Like Napoleon Dynamite for us was to the point because Sydney and I dated in high school, and as you know, and literally our friend group would watch it together every time we hung out. Like I've seen Napoleon Dynamite so many times.
And see, that's what I think a lot of people did, and so that would be their inside jokes would be that they would just like quote it over and over again, and that was just like, oh, that's what we like about it because we can just joke quote it all the time. It's the same thing with like Super Trooper.
Yeah,
so that for me this was my like that's like my Super Trooper. Like I watched it with a bunch of people and we would joke, we would quote it all the time, so it's funnier to me because of that.
Right, because you have that nostalgia and whatever. So yeah, it was really reminding me of that, and I'm sure that added to my enjoyment. But I would personally say if you were into those movies, if you like stupid humor, if you go in with low expectations anyways, because that's the thing is we had rock bottom expectations. I mean, they couldn't have been any lower. If you were in that boat, give it a shot. Like it's personal opinion, way better than it could have been. It could have been fucking terrible.
Right.
And I don't think it's terrible. I think that the people that are saying that it's terrible are people like we saw a like religious level reaction to the trailer when it came out, and people were fucking mad when the trailer came out about how it looked. They were mad about Jack Black being in it, and I was just like, I'm tired of Jack Black. I don't want to see Jack Black be Jack Black, and you know, I just wasn't looking forward to that. But so this defied all those expectations of like anything built in, and like you said, I and we were talking about like I don't have a ton of built up love for Minecraft. It's fine. I played it for quite a few hours, but like whatever. It's there's not some story I'm tied to because of Minecraft.
Right. I'd be curious to the people that put like thousands of hours into Minecraft if they watch this, what they would think.
Right.
Because I wonder if they'll be like, oh man, look at this, look at that. Because
and that's what Dylan was doing because my kids played for hours and hours, and she was leaning over to me every few minutes, and she's like, "This is this. This is this."
Okay,
that's a shout out to that. She would literally hear noises and be like, "We're about to see a blah," and then it would show up.
Yeah.
Like she would hear things, creatures, whatever, and then she'd be like, "Oh my god, that's gonna be a blah blah blah." Like so, that's the interesting thing with like the fans being almost like just vicious about this. Is the level of fan service in this is wild. I've never seen this much fan service in something and this much attention to detail as far as what bringing in stuff from that world in many other IP things. So outside of like the Sonic movies and stuff, but those to me still just feel disrespectful because I'm an old school Sonic fan, not a modern 3D Sonic fan.
Sure.
So yeah, I don't know. I'd say give it a shot, especially if you have kids. I think that there's a good chance your kids will love this.
I do think there is some age though, because Zine and I were talking about it earlier, where we've been invited to go with our neighbors and their 2 kids tomorrow, like afternoon to see it. And I was like, I don't think my 3-year-old can see this.
Right. It would hold his attention. It's bright and colorful.
Yeah, but there are some scary elements.
Right. I know. Yeah.
Like the zombies are pretty scary and things like that. And I'm like, I don't know if my 3-year-old's ready for it. And he has no nostalgia for this IP. He has not played it. He has no idea what it is.
Yeah. I think in a couple of years, if it's streaming or whatever, like show him and he'll probably love it.
Oh, yeah. I just think it's kind of like 5-year-old or
probably 5 or 6 and up.
Seems like an appropriate age range.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it could be one of those things where once they hit that teenage years, it might be a thing of, oh, I'm too old, too cool for that. But honestly, if they played into a lot of the retro stuff with Jason Momoa's character, which I thought was fun, and just the whole vibe of it, and like we mentioned earlier too, freaking what's her face, Jennifer Coolidge is fucking hilarious in this. She's so funny.
They literally, the whole time she was on screen, I was trying to figure out why they added her. And then you brought it up.
Yeah.
It's because she's had a resurgence.
Yeah.
And they were just like, hey, we can grab her. This is why things happened. Yeah. They're like, we can grab her. She has nothing to do with the main storyline.
Right.
She is a outside storyline that has nothing to do with anything except to add
comedic. Yeah. And just as a tether to the real world.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is it keeps us remembering that there's a real world existing outside of the Minecraft world.
Yeah. So I bet what happened, this is, like you said, went through production help. They were like, oh, we can do this. We don't need, we probably already have the whole other movie filmed.
Right.
It has no effect.
Right.
We'll film this like 3 hours of like footage.
Just her.
Just cut it down of her
just being goofy.
And there we go.
And being her.
Yeah.
She's just being her, being over the top and
just,
ditzy and it's fun little bits that they did with her. I appreciated it. So I don't know. You can take all of what we said with a grain of thought. Everybody or grain of salt. A lot of people give me crap for my opinions. We've been having very spicy ones of late, especially after last week, and all 3 of us didn't like A Working Man, and apparently everybody else did. But I think that they are liars. That is my accusation, and I'm sticking to it.
We're just apparently wrong.
So. I think that the conservative crowd is gassing up that movie because it's an overtly conservative movie that went up against Snow White, and everybody wants Snow White to fail. So they were gassing up that movie and pretending like it was better than it was.
I mean, it beat out Snow White in the box office.
Look, here's the thing. We've talked about this a lot. It's why we added our entertainment value scale in Criticless, is that a movie can be bogus and still be entertaining. I don't see how there are so many people like O&B Reviews, for example, gave that movie a high as shit, like a rat or something crazy.
Right.
Blew me away. I've seen him roast things that are phenomenal for far less.
Right.
And I'm like, this is a conservative movement here. That is what is happening. This is people gassing up this movie because they want it to appear a certain way so that people go to the theater and see it and shut down Snow White. I'm calling all y'all out. You're grifting. you're doing the thing. So
I think Snow White and The Working Man are getting wiped out this week.
By this. Oh, they're both going to get absolutely crushed.
I don't know if Snow White will be in the top 3 this week.
No.
So
no.
We'll see. But I really doubt, unless there's like a small group of people that like still want to see it just because.
Yeah. And I think that this movie also, Cinema here also said that he thinks that fans are going to make this highly successful, possibly 500 to 700 million. I do not think you are wrong there. I think that this movie actually is going to have excellent word of mouth, better than something like A Working Man or some of these others.
Oh, I agree.
I think that people are going to say, go see this. Take your kids. It's very safe for the family. There's some funny adult jokes. It's really stupid and goofy. Your kids are going to love it, and you're going to laugh too.
Oh, this definitely is going to be making bank.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not like be the biggest movie of the year due to like, I'm guessing the cost of production.
Right.
But still, they're going to make some money.
Right. So yeah, but Matt gave it a high, decent, maybe low grad if he's feeling
depending on how froggy I'm feeling.
Yeah, feeling froggy, but yeah, and this is a rad for me easily. And so yeah, I would recommend giving it a go. Don't listen to the critics; they're being really hard on this, and even just kind of the naysayers. This is a solid. You know, it's not the best thing ever. It's not going to change your life, but it will probably make your kids' day if you take your kids.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, but we're going to move into spoilers now. If you don't want this movie spoiled, honestly, we'll probably just talk about some of the jokes and things.
Yeah.
Like, really, with spoilers with this, the story isn't anything too crazy. Nothing I even really care to talk about as far as digging into it. But,
Well, and that's the thing is it's not like a deep story.
No.
It's that's what makes it
Right.
great for kids. It's
Right.
very just
Simple.
Here it is. This is the story. We're going
Right.
to go on a little adventure.
Right. But so if you don't want anything spoiled, then bail out. But like I said, we're mostly going to talk about jokes and different things like that. So spoilers starting now. But yeah, so the one thing that we continue to mention is the man sandwich, which is legitimate. The whole bit is super freaking funny.
Yeah.
Like, you get to see Jack Black ride Jason Momoa.
You heard that right.
Yes, ride him, and it's absolutely hilarious. And it goes on for quite some time and just continues to get funnier and funnier.
Not only is he riding him,
Yes.
he's got his hair like this, like he's riding him like a motorcycle.
Yes.
As they're flying through the air.
Yes.
And Jason Momoa was like, "Let go of my hair," and he's just like, "No, I can't, man. I gotta hold on to your hair."
And it's so
I'm gonna use my hips to move us.
Yeah, he's like, just go the direction that my hips are going. And so he's riding Jason Momoa's back. Jason Momoa has wings and they are flying. And then it gets to the point where Jack Black almost falls off, pivots underneath Jason Momoa, and they're face to face riding together, freaking out. And then they have to fly through a tight gap, and they're like, "We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to make a man sandwich.
We're gonna have to go toe to face."
Yeah, and they literally 69 flying through the air as a man sandwich, and they're Jack Black's face is in Momoa's crotch, and he's like, "We gotta tighten up. We're not tight enough yet." And so they're pinching in tighter and tighter together. It is just absurd. It's really funny.
And they're enemies at this time. Like,
yes, yeah.
Momoa's character is like threatened by Jack Black's character,
right? Because Jack Black's more cool.
Because he's cooler in this world, and that's all like. So it's all like adds all these levels, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's this whole chase sequence. Like they're being chased. There's explosions going on. Like. That was pretty fun.
It was a great scene. The whole scene is great. Like, I mean, seriously, very memorable, super funny. It really worked for me. It was just, and actually, yes, Miss Criticless brought up, it reminds me of the Let Me Save You scene from Pineapple Express, and it reminded me of the exact same thing, and it's literally what it's like. There is some of that type of, like, this movie, I bet, would be absolutely hilarious high as shit. Like, this is a high people ass movie, for sure.
See, I do want to see this again.
Yeah.
At home,
right,
where I'm just gonna be like stoned, just being like,
yeah.
I probably would have fallen off if I was baked. I probably would have fallen out of my chair.
Absolutely.
Over some of the
yes, there's some of the bits, and I mean that's the thing. Not all the bits work. There's a lot of comedy in there, but like when they work, they really work, and it's super funny.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's the thing. You got to be like an absolute fucking stick in the mud to not think that some of this movie is funny. Especially Matt being Matt and thinking this movie's as funny as it is.
Right. I agree. I think my sense of humor is that it has to really come out of nowhere and just like, get me.
Right.
And I don't know what does it for me, but some things just do that. I'm just like, oh.
Right. And that's the thing too, where like Simba brought up that this is Buenos Dias thing where Jason Momoa's character is speaking Spanish throughout the entire movie, and he's saying things that aren't right at all. Yeah. And every time he does it, he's like, "That means goodbye." And every time it's completely wrong.
He reminds me. So I think I've told you that you need to show your kids Sanjay and Craig.
Mm-hmm.
I told you how there was that like local like loser hero, Tough Lips.
Mm-hmm.
This is the person. That's him.
Right. This is the human embodiment of Tough Lips.
Tough Lips.
Yeah.
So that's why that's why he grew on me, because at first I was just like, oh, he's just this like dick of a guy. But literally, it's just like I said, the first third. Yeah. After that, he does grow on me, and that's where I start really drawing those comparisons to like Tough Lips.
Because his whole character is literally just this guy that like peaked in high school, thinks he's super cool, dresses like he's in the 90s, wears pit vipers, drives a Firebird. Like he's just all into the retro stuff. He's actually talking about Napoleon Dynamite. He's He's Uncle Rico.
Oh yeah.
He's Uncle Rico,
Yeah.
but less of a dick. Like Uncle Rico is like dick to the max.
Right. He's less dick and more just like
Cocky.
cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the cocky elements of Uncle Rico, and like it is that vibe from this character. And I honestly, it totally worked for me. He was. We've never seen Jason Momoa like this. He's super goofy, and at least that I can think of. Have you ever seen him in anything?
There was this movie he did a year or two ago. It was a Netflix movie, and I didn't watch it. But it's like he's like an imaginary person, like helping this girl through something. And I think he was kind of like this. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't watch the movie because it was like I started hearing really bad things about it, and everyone was just like, "This is a bad movie."
I know what you're talking about.
I can't tell you
Slumber
what
or
it is.
something.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
Netflix original. It's
Yep.
the Slumber something. But yeah.
Slumberland. Thank
Slumberland,
you, Crisco.
So I mean, I've never seen him quite like this. He's very goofy, and as pointed out in the chat as well, like I think that the movie does. Personally, I thought it dipped when him and Black weren't together, and he leaves the
Mhm.
film for a little bit. Like even if you weren't as much of a fan of what they were doing with him, these characters worked so well. Like him and Jack Black worked so well together.
Yeah.
That like their comedy, they just kept pinging off each other, and it was fun and just goofy. And like there's just really funny, like my kids were just laughing where there's like things where like they're just zooming in on Momoa's and he's like clenching his butt cheeks and like just stupid shit. Like, and his whole character is super slapsticky, and Momoa spends the entire film screeching at the top of his lungs like a full-grown woman, just screaming. That is Momoa's character in this movie.
Right, because anytime he's scared, he's like just screeches and runs away.
And it's really
'cause
funny.
He's a chicken.
Right. Yeah. He's a big chicken, and it works well. Like this movie is kind of all over the place.
This also reminds me of Tenacious D. Their relationship reminds me of Tenacious D.
It is like that. Yeah.
To a degree.
Mhm.
Plus,
like him and
we
Kyle,
get
like
some
him and
Jack
Kyle.
Black.
Jack Black does sing,
and one of them was actually really great. The chicken one.
Mhm.
I was like, this is
Right.
snaps.
And at first, like Jack Black starts singing, and I'm like, shit.
Yep.
They freaking got Jack Black singing. Of course they did. But then it's funny, like, and it works. And they actually, I thought the pigs who were the bad guys were going to be just kind of lame. And they actually ended up working and being funny because regularly the pigs, they all had names like Kyle and Trevor and and they're just like, hey man, what's going on? How are you doing? And they're just like a muscly pig.
Right. Well, the first one, the first like main soldier sent out, like he's like grunting,
right,
and then he has that kind of voice, and
yeah,
like everyone like chuckles or laughs at it because you're like, oh, and then he was like, yeah, what's up guys? Hey, I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah.
What's going on?
He's like, I'm just here to kill you.
Was that Jermaine?
I don't know. He might have been playing that character as well. If so, he was using an American accent because
I couldn't place it, but I was like, this is super familiar sounding.
I wonder because also Brett, the other guy from Flight of the Conchords, he's in this as well. He's one of the pigs, so he could be one of them as well.
Yeah, that's probably it though.
They had quite a few different voice actors as far as these different people that were the pigs and stuff. And so I don't know. Like it's cute. Like the movie's cute. It's funny. Like, and it kept doing things where you're like, this could have been shit. This could have been really lame. And it's funny. Like I'm laughing here.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, it also has commentary on society nowadays, which I was kind of expecting, but it wasn't overly heavy-handed.
No.
I mean, they were talking about how, his sister, who didn't look old enough to live by herself, let alone take another kid, was working for a company ran full of old people to like run her social medias, which is now becoming a more common job. And then their realtor was also running a petting zoo and had all these other, and like somebody else talked about how their teacher was how they have all these side gigs and all that stuff. And so it's another like interesting, like first time I've seen anyways, a discussion
about people overworking and
just not being able to afford to live. Right. And so that plays into escapism,
and they're from like middle
related.
Exactly. And being from middle America, it was kind of representing this other audience that you don't see a whole lot. And like you said, with them overworking and just like stretching to make ends meet in like a place that's not very populated.
Right.
And it's a shop owner with Jason Momoa's character. And he's like, there's a point where he's like, I freaking peaked in high school pretty much. Like my life is shit. My shop doesn't do well. Like I'm miserable. I don't do what I like. Like this isn't the life that I wanted for myself. There are things like that, but it's not heavy handed. It's not overly done. It's pretty tasteful.
I think it also is just kind of relatable.
Yeah.
So like most parents can be like, oh man, I do relate to that.
Right.
Like I do have challenges here or there in life. in some ways.
And then on top of all of that, I actually commend this movie the most for its ending message, which I was not expecting. And it was literally, you can get out of video games. You don't have to live in the fake world.
Yeah.
Like, go out, like, make the best of it, make friends, like you can still do what you love and make your life work. Like, I wasn't expecting that from this.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they chose to live in the Minecraft world. They're like, hey, no, we're going back into the real world. We're going to do what we believe in. We're going to like have these positive lives. And that's a really good message. Like this whole movie was a surprisingly good message.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's kind of all part of like their whole problem with like the script and all that was maybe that they were like, hey, we need to make this like a positive message. Like,
yeah,
this day and age, yeah, you can do video games and you can live your life in video games for a long while, but eventually you do need to get out there and make friends and do things. Because that's like the whole, like, I didn't necessarily like that last song that much.
No, it wasn't great.
It wasn't. I was kind of let down by that song. I was
right.
hoping for more there. I didn't know what they were gonna do, and then it was just kind of like hard to hear and
right.
a lot going on. But like you said, the message was there.
Yeah.
It was great. It's like you can get out, you can still do stuff.
Yeah.
You can make friends and start and live life.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, it was a cool
that.
Yeah, it was a cool way to send this movie off. And we got a twofer from Cave Titties. And he said, I'd like to see a Jared Hess resurgence. And I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
This yeah, Matt doesn't like his stuff, but like, and actually I will say I'm not as crazy about Nacho Libre. It's grown on me over the years, but I don't love it. Definitely like his first film is the one that I love, and Gentleman Broncos is weird as shit. That is a freaking weird movie. But yeah, he's got it. And if this movie does well, we will see a bit of a resurgence, because my guess is he will be involved with the sequel. And I hope that at a bare minimum that we get Momoa and the kid back, and even Jack Black, because he did way better than I expected. As far as the other characters, I'll take Jennifer Coolidge back. She's freaking great.
God, yeah. So if you haven't seen this yet and you're curious what we keep talking about, so her character line is that she is the vice principal, which I thought was going to be all.
Right.
Well,
of the kids' school. Yeah.
Right, of the kids' school. And so then later in the movie, one of the village folk from Minecraft goes through the portal and goes into the real world, and she hits him with her car.
Yeah.
Well,
we got a membership, by the way, what's up?
Dark Forest coming in here.
Forest, yeah. I know, because I don't want to say your YouTube name. It's too hard to say.
Your YouTube name.
Yeah, no, that's not you. You're Dark Forest. But yes, remember, thanks, buddy. So yeah, but sorry to interject.
No, that's fine. I missed it. And so it's just this ridiculousness where she hits him with his car and he doesn't say anything. He just does not talk. He just raises his eyebrows. Well, she takes him out to dinner and then is just like flirting with him over dinner. He's not saying anything. He just like raises his eyebrows and it's like, she's like, I want to invite you back to my place.
Right.
Eyebrow. He just eyebrows back.
Yeah.
And as adults, we're like,
yeah, this is about to get weird with old penis nose.
They're about to be doing something.
Which, and the villagers look real weird, but I kind of liked them. Like,
I did too. They're like
Gumby people.
They are. Yeah. Like, they did a live action Gumby.
Yeah.
Actually, in Chip and Dale, Power Ranger, the live action ish one, that's what this reminds me of. Because the chief of police is a Gumby person. Yeah. But this does raise a question. So do you think a square peg fit in her round hole?
Because he's definitely got a square peg for sure.
Oh, everything else is balanced very
Listen, if there's anything that I know about Jennifer Coolidge, is that she can make whatever she wants fit into those holes.
And I mean, if he's a Gumby person,
that's Stifler's mom, bro. Like, come on. We know that she can.
Dude,
faux show.
The truth.
So, I mean, the fact that she like hooks up with a villager and then at the end,
oh yes,
holy crap,
funniest thing I think of the whole movie.
Yes, because so if you don't know, the villagers in Minecraft talk like like that, just not English. That's how he's talking. He's dating Jennifer Coolidge, and then we get to the cutscene, and she's like, I'm in love. We've spent the last 24 hours together. It's been the best time of my life. And he looks at the screen and it's freaking Matthew Perry,
No,
right?
it's Jermaine.
I mean, no, it's not Jermaine.
Yeah,
no.
it is. No, it is. It's him and his new. Yes.
No, it's the dude from
No.
What?
It is Jermaine.
No. All right.
Yes.
Dark Forest in the chat. Let me know if who he is, if it's Jermaine or if it's because to me it sounded like
And that's why he's accredited in the movie.
Well, he was actually the dude with the mustache. He was the guy running the
Oh yeah, he was
yeah.
briefly in that too. I think I'm fairly certain it's him with his thick accent.
No,
And
I
my
think it's
wife
Matt
absolutely
Berry
loved it.
from What We Do in the Shadows.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, because he has
so.
such a recognizable
Oh,
voice.
they sound so same.
No, I'm pretty sure it was
he
Matt
accredited?
Berry. No, I don't know. He could have been
'Cause
uncredited
I
because it was a
mean,
cutscene.
I don't know why it'd be unaccredited though, considering
Or it's him. I don't know. Either way, it was freaking hilarious.
either way, it was hilarious.
He comes out of left field. He's talking. He's speaking
Yeah.
English, and on the point of which she's like, "And in the past 24 hours, I've learned to speak Villager." And you get to see Jennifer Coolidge be like, like it was just so stupid.
That is
like
freaking stupid.
Yeah,
But funny.
Yeah, it was really funny. We cracked up. I'm pretty sure it was Matt Berry though. We'll have to
We'll
see.
have to research it because I'm pretty sure it's not.
Yeah, I'm real curious now. But either way, very funny bit. And then they end it with another cutscene. So there are two at the end of this movie, which I wasn't expecting. They did the second one, and it's basically some Minecraft lore where Steve meets the woman that he falls in love with. So or supposedly,
it's like she's living in his house because he's been in the Minecraft world for many years.
Yeah,
and so.
Yeah, and even though we didn't talk about it, but it's like how the Minecraft world stuff works, I thought was pretty cool. Essentially, the way it works is that like you do like when you punch things or hit things with a pickaxe or whatever, they just turn into a little cube. I thought that looked neat. You pick it up and then you throw them back out and you build things.
Yeah, they did kind of not glaze over, but they kind of just like they showed the kid figuring it out, and then all of a sudden the next time they showed him, he had a big mansion.
Right.
I don't know if they were just like, we don't really want to like
dig into it too deep of him building this whole thing.
Yeah,
and they showed Steve do it earlier where he's just throwing them out and building things.
Yeah, but I was thinking because I haven't played it, so I don't know this. But like in Fortnite, you have to hit you have to collect X amount of supplies before you can build. So I imagine they would have had to been collecting supplies to build something of that like size. That was the only thing. Like I was just like, there's little things in this where you just have to let go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or you can nitpick and just be like, this movie is terrible.
Right. And I think like pointed out in the chat here with Dark Forest he said the CGI was oddly hyper realistic, and that's either going to turn people off or they're going to like it. I personally liked it. It's like you can see like the hairs on the pigs. Like
I think it worked really
looks
well.
like flesh. Like it was cool. And I'm like, to me, it's like if real people are going into this world of this cubey stuff, like this feels better than if it was pixel art. Like there is a vividness to this that is just bright and colorful and fun, and I feel like it wouldn't have felt as good if it was done any other way.
You know, it's funny. This also because this feels kind of like, and Dark Forest kind of brings up where I'm going to talk about, but it kind of feels like the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah,
where it's super bright and bubbly, and then you have like the lava world, which was dark.
Yeah,
and that's what this movie does. Like I would not be surprised to find out that they used almost the same like animation companies,
right?
Because it has a very similar feel, and I don't think this would work as a fully animated movie.
Right?
They could emote fine, but it does work really well somehow having the humans, because it also adds into the element, the story element, because they were like, oh, they're the round ones, get them,
right
and stuff. So it wasn't just like, because if they were animated, it would have been like square people, and
I
don't know, they would have taken the level out of it somehow.
Right. And for me, I mean, not that obviously we're not big Minecraft character or fans or players or whatever, but it's like for me looking at that world, and I see my kids playing it and stuff, like it's just less interesting than this. Like this looks cool. It feels more real. And when you're putting humans in it, it's not nearly as jarring because it is hyper realistic.
Right.
And so it kind of plays into just the whole aspect of it. So for me, it worked better, but I know that there are going to be some hardcore fans that probably aren't going to like it as much, especially when it comes to the creatures and stuff. But I liked how kind of weird and nightmarish they looked. Like there's something kind of cool about it.
Right.
So yeah, all
Maybe
of
that's
that.
why they call it a Minecraft movie and not like the Minecraft movie or whatever. Maybe that's a way to like help soften that blow somehow for the hardcore people.
Right. Yeah. So I'm all in on this. It was way better than it should have been. This movie should have been absolutely horrendous, and it wasn't for me. And I think that a lot of families are going to have a great time.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, you're not going to go here to see the next, groundbreaking film, kind of like I was talking about that movie, The Studio, and like the fact that the whole plot or that show, The Studio, the whole plot of that first episode is Seth Rogen's character trying to make the Kool-Aid movie as an indie art house film with, or I say indie art house to some degree, with Martin Scorsese attached to it. And it's like, you can't do that. No. How you make the Kool-Aid Man movie is you bring somebody interesting and weird on, like Jared Hess, who has done these strange, weird movies, and you just let him go bonkers with it. Yeah. And that's what they did here, and it works. Now, with that being said, I am really interested in what that other version of the film was.
Yeah, it could have been equally interesting. Honestly, like it could have been a better movie, could have been a worse movie. Like really, it's so hard to tell because I don't know what else he's directed, especially when it comes to something animated.
Right. I mean, Rob McElhenney's just been doing Mythic Quest, which is video game related, is connected to Ubisoft stuff. Like he's in that realm, and that's what he ended up pivoting to after losing this movie. Yeah. And he sounded like he was very excited about making this. So I don't know if they salvaged any of it, but like, who knows? But I am curious. But I'm still happy with what we got. And I think Jared Hess is a fun filmmaker. I thought that this was really solid. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I would say give it a shot. Why not? So
yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's especially if you have any sort of love for Minecraft or if you have kids.
Yeah. And it just go in, like we say this with a lot of films. It's like with it, especially with it being based off of like previous IP, go in with the lowest of expectations. What's it going to hurt?
Right.
If you go in with low expectations, all you can do is be pleased, or those low expectations are just met. Yeah. It's like it might not change your life, but I think it was quite funny. So yeah, but I think that's it. Was there anything else you wanted to mention about this thing?
I don't think so. I think it basically covers it all.
Sweet. Well, so at the end of every show, we do our send-off songs, which we need to do. But before we do that, I want to say, if you have not yet, visit criticless.com. Go do that. We are an entertainment reviewing platform. That's what this is all about. That's what this is all for. We are in the Android and Apple app stores, so you can go in those as well and download the app, or you can find the website. Just go review a movie or TV show. If you've seen Minecraft or you plan to see it, do watch it, whatever, go give us a review. I'd like to see it. So I want to see how this does. I think it's going to do well. We've talked about how we think it's going to make a lot of money. I think that word of mouth is going to be great on it. But go drop some reviews within Criticless if you haven't. Join some groups. Make some lists of the best and or worst films you've seen this year. Right. I have my most anticipated films of the year, and I honestly don't even think that this movie was super high on my most anticipated.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it was pretty low, but now it's like I want to have the two separate lists and kind of compare them and see like what I was anticipating versus what we actually got.
It's a new feature right there.
Right.
List comparison.
Right. That actually could be cool. I'm looking to see. This was number 26. It was near the end. And there's some on this list that I haven't even seen. But honestly, now, if I rank them as far as the things that I've liked, I mean, Mickey 17 is going to be like dead last as far as quality goes.
Well, that we've seen,
Yeah, that we've seen so far. And I did want to mention in news, and we didn't. We do finally have a trailer for The Naked Gun. I was not super excited about it. Don't think it looks that great. We'll see. It's Liam Neeson. I don't know. It's a remake.
It's a comedy.
Yeah. It's based. It's not. I think it's actually a semi sequel from the looks of the trailer to the original Naked Gun. Because they actually showed some pictures and stuff and like homage to the original film. So, but I didn't think it looked that great. But either way, this now is ranking as far as enjoyment level pretty high, because we've seen some doo-doo. Like Wolfman was mid at best.
Low mid.
So yeah, there hasn't been as many great things. But anyways, go make some lists, do all that on Criticless, and that's pretty much it. But we're gonna do our send-off songs for you guys and let you know what we've been listening to. I guess Matt, now that I've sucked all the air out of the room, what have you been listening to?
So I haven't been listening to music because I found out that they've done a like dramatized reading of Red Rising. And so they have all these different voice actors and there's sound effects and all this stuff going on. And I've been listening to that.
Really? I bet that's dope.
Dude, it is. It's so good.
Hell yeah.
And it's like a 20-ish hours, I think.
Okay.
It's on Spotify. And if you have a paid membership on Spotify, you can get 15 hours of audiobooks a month.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. So you just split it up, listen like half this month, half next month.
Well, no, I think what they actually do is they let you finish through.
Oh shit.
So like I finished the book and then I went to go start The Golden Sun, which also has the same dramatized telling. And it wouldn't let me. And it said I had to wait 15 days until like the month restarted or whatever. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Should have dragged it out. But I couldn't stop. I was just like listening to it nonstop. It's really good.
Nice.
And then I was like, man, now that you're into anime,
yes.
this needs to be an anime.
Oh, really?
Right?
Now after yeah, it does. Oh,
right?
dude.
Like you
Yeah,
were watching anime
right.
last time we've had this discussion.
Right. Oh,
of
it could
like-
be a badass anime.
dude.
Yeah, I will agree. And if you don't know, and we brought it up many times, we all both talk about it in the app all the time. Chris is listening to the audiobook as well. Red Rising is easily one of mine and Matt's favorite books and book series. Yes, it's phenomenal and it's so good. I don't even know how to just read or listen to Red Rising.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you can listen to the audiobook on Spotify.
Yeah, so they have a dramatized, which is the one, but they also have non-dramatized, just straight reading of it.
Right.
God, it's just so good. And I've read it I've read the 2 or 3 times at least. Like I think my copy's sitting behind me. Yeah, it's right here. And like so I've read it multiple times and it's just like every time I feel like so invested. I know what's gonna happen. Like I know the end results here and I'm invested. I was like, damn. Yeah. I need an anime version of this.
Right.
And I got you those comic books. Like they've already done a comic book version.
They're very cool.
So like they can do an anime version and it would be baller.
It would be badass. So yeah, definitely read and or listen to Red Rising. Yeah. So and actually we have brought this up. If you do a super chat of a song, we will put it on our YouTube playlist.
That's right.
And Cave Titties gave us a twofer and says Ma Vlast Moldu by Bedrich Smetana. There we go. I said it perfectly the first time. Yeah, don't even question it. It was flawless. So that's apparently a song. So yeah, we'll add it to the list. You can check it out. And by the way, Chris's song last week, absolutely hilarious. I have listened to it a couple times now because it's so funny. So go check out our playlist on our YouTube channel for sure. And yeah, it's very funny. So what I want to recommend is of the worst pronunciation you've ever.
I want to see her.
Whatever. Well, first off, you've never seen a pronunciation. You've only heard one. So joke's on you, idiot. Hearing you just saw my pronunciation. See what I deal with at home. So the song that I don't know if anybody, I think you, Matt. Oh no, we're freezing. So wait a minute.
It's okay. You're there.
Yeah, we're all right. Were we catching back up? Sorry, there was some lag. So I don't know if anybody's heard of Youngblood. This guy's been around for a while. He has been more of like a modern emo type artist.
Oh yeah.
He did some work with Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I recommended some of his stuff.
You have.
Time ago.
He's back in a whole new way.
Oh yeah.
I saw him do a TikTok. And he did an interview with some people. And basically, he was just like, look, I wanted to mix things up. People just kind of didn't think that I was capable of doing more. They thought I was going to keep doing this emo-y type music. And I wanted to go a completely different route. I am bringing back rock music. He's like, I want to bring back traditional rock music with long songs and guitar solos and drum solos. And like, I want to channel the greats. And holy shit, I was questioning it. I was like, all right, whatever.
Sure.
Instantly pulled up the song. The song is called Hello Heaven, Hello is the name of the song.
Okay.
It's by Youngblood. It's literally like a 7-8 minute long song, like the old school songs do. It's like 4 songs in one. He is channeling Queen. He is channeling Def Leppard. He is channeling name the greats from like the 70s and 80s, and he's channeling them. And this song is fantastic. Like if you're into classic rock, he's bringing it back. I want to continue to see what he does with this album.
Yeah.
But I'm really impressed with Youngblood, and it's spelled like BLUD.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Youngblood, and it's Hello Heaven Hello. Definitely check this song out. We'll add it. I think he has a music video for it.
Normally there's at least a like audio track.
Right. I think that this is kind of the titular track from the the new album.
Well, that's why I'll be curious, because I mean that's not something that gets radio play ever nowadays, like a 10-minute song. But I'll be curious to see if he's gonna have any shorter songs that are more like sweet and to the point. And like, and those old 80s songs were definitely known for like
Right.
short,
Like rock ballads,
rock ballads, or even just more like
or like
repeated
the-
lyrics,
yeah.
just kind of like
We Will Rock You or something, or like
yeah, or a lot of AC/DC stuff.
yeah.
It's all like repetitive. Just,
Yeah. Because it's just interesting because when the song starts, he's like one way, and then you're like, oh shit, there he is. He's like channeling Queen, and then you're like, oh, this is totally Def Leppard. Like you can pick out the bands in this one song, and it's kind of wild because even at the start, actually, he's channeling more modern, like 2000s era rock, where it's kind of like they did the Black Parade.
My Chemical Romance.
It sounds like My Chemical Romance, so it still is kind of channeling that emo-y vibe, but the rock aspect, and then it just keeps changing. It's great. I was kind of blown away, so I would say check it out. But yeah. So, anyways, guys,
what are we doing next week?
Yeah, next week I think we've talked about it. I think next week we're technically going to take off. I'm going to do a short video. We had some scheduling issues on my side too.
Okay.
So with Sid and stuff. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to be able to see Warfare early on Wednesday night. I was supposed to see it early a while back, and it was a whole mess up thing on the ticket sales stuff. But anyway, so you're welcome to go with me if you want, but I'm going later on Wednesday night, like 7 o'clock. So
I might be able to go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go see it. I'm pretty excited about that movie. It looks really great. It sounds like they're doing some cool stuff. So that's what we'll be doing next week, whether it's a solo review or just whatever. I just know that next week's a little complicated, and there's only a 7 o'clock showing, so we will be seeing it like 2 days early. So, which is cool because we can get an early review out.
Yeah.
So but Warfare is what we'll be doing. And hello to everyone in the chat as well. We had Faith Thomas show up. How are you doing? And it sounded like she's a big Minecraft fan, talking about it helping her with depth perception and stuff. So that's really cool.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, from my understanding, is like Minecraft's been super helpful for a lot of people.
It has
in many different ways, which is awesome, and I'm glad it's been used like that. Like you were saying, like I just never got into it. I never saw the appeal to it. It was not my genre of gaming.
Right, and those survival games are very...
Maybe when my son starts playing video games, I'll join in and play.
And that is one thing that I've learned the older that I've got, and especially with kids, is that these kind of games where it's not story driven or you don't have to remember moves or hyper complex things, it actually works out well to play them because and like you said, where you can play with your kids or whatever, it's like, hey, we're just going to hop in our survival world and we're just going to build a little bit, and or our creative world and we're just going to build, or whatever. So it is good for that, I think, for sure. And my kids love it. They play it constantly. They're all in. But I think it's a good series. But yeah, so hello to everybody else, all you guys that have been in there, and everybody that has super chatted and become members and all of that as well. Thank you so much, because we had 2 new members today, which is awesome. And Quagmire chatted earlier with his regular talking crap about heavy metal. And just everybody that's hopped in here, and Cave Titties and his song, we'll put that in the chat. And if you do want to super chat a song from now on, just know that that's what we're doing, and we will add it to our list for sure. And we will listen to it as well. So we will check it out. But guys, this has been another fun episode. Really great. We had a ton of people show up from X. There's like over 200 and something people in here. So that's really cool. And thanks to our YouTube regulars as well. But this has been fun as always. We'll be back in some way, shape, or form next week as well. And then things are getting rolling with the summer movie stuff. So
because I think the following week something exciting. I can't remember what it is right now. I know April's got a lot of good stuff. Can't wait for the Accountant 2 at the end of the month.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah, but yes, as said in the chat, later, dudes. Everybody, take it easy. This has been fun. It's been great. We'll see you next week. Later,
everybody.